Welcome back to the broadcast. Y'all hit the #1 button. Big shout out to the Crimson son and the other son, my firstborn son. I appreciate you guys and all your support for them. Please join them on their channel, or let me correct that. Please join them on the Crimson Son's channel. He does all his reviews. He'll be reviewing a lot more material from Kevin Samuels and some of the other things that happen in the world. So y'all make sure y'all go over there and check him out. And as he said, all the proceeds that he earned during the time period, they'll all go to those two boys. So I appreciate you helping me teach them how to earn honest money, and also that their talents are appreciated. Nevertheless, we're just gonna go get straight into this thing. But before we do, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who contributed so far. Mr. R. Rizzle, thank you so much. Black in the Day, thank you. Johnny Vegas, Mr. 43TX, wow, big time. Thank you so much. Cerebral Inquirer, Team Barracuda, CFC444, Cerebral Inquirer again. Who else we got? Big shout out to Cerebral Inquirer. I appreciate y'all supporting the young fellas, man. They stand up a little past their bedtime. They got some really rigorous schedules, but I tell them, hey, you know, if you got a talent, you want to share it with the world, don't hide it. But either way, I'm gonna run this back. I'm gonna let y'all take a look at this. I found this to be amazing, and we here on the male-oriented YouTube, we always have been talking about this particular video. I'm sorry, this particular stat that came out in the CDC, which says that of all the men in America, Black men are the most involved fathers. I'll actually put the location up,
which debunked many of the myths around large study.
Now, here's the thing. The fact that it's Oprah Winfrey saying it is telling. And the reason it's telling is because for years, Oprah Winfrey spent years, decades, basically bashing Black men, vilifying us on television, vilifying us anywhere that we were. It was hard to live in our skin as Black men because you had this woman who was allegedly or purportedly from our community saying these horrible things about us. So for Oprah Winfrey to say this, even though it wasn't said in front of a massive crowd, and you guys got to understand, Oprah was big back in the day, man. Oprah was huge. Oprah was like the Michael Jackson of daytime television. She was, if it came out of, she was YouTube. If she said it, people listen. So for her to say this, it's telling. Y'all check this out.
Disease control, which debunked many of the myths around. Large study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie. Large study from this.
It's a lie, just a straight up lie. And that's what we want to talk about. She's talking about the CDC report that came out in 2015. Shout out to my man, Cerebral Inquirer, JM, Ken Barracuda. They're trying to convince us to stay with truth. And then also Black in the Day. I bet Oprah does cottage core. That's funny. Oh man, I hope not. But you might be right. Here's the thing, fellas. What is going on? Why would she do that? But let me do this. I want to talk to you guys about this question. Like the question that I have, is, we now know that, Black men are more present in their children's lives, whether they live in the home or they're not in the home, more so than any other group. You see, and many of these issues that Black people debate are, not based on reality. They're based on propaganda. And Oprah Winfrey was major in that propaganda farm. You understand what I'm saying? It's a very serious conversation, fellas. Shout out to my man Jamal Smith. So Oprah Winfrey is a day late and a dollar short when it comes to any form of support or truth telling. If only Kevin Samuels was alive to see this today. Here, gentlemen, I need y'all to understand something. And some of you guys are too young to understand what this means. But Oprah was popular in the 80s. She was popular in the 90s. This woman single-handedly opened the door for some of the worst propaganda about Black men that arose in the past, 100 years. She opened the door as a Black person. She basically opened the door and escorted, the racist white supremacists with their tropes and let them in the door. And one of those main things that she said was that we're deadbeat dads, and she'd allow people day in and day out. And now to have this woman finally admit that the absent Black father myth that she helped create and spread was a big fat lie. It means something. Now, mind you, that report came out 8 years ago, and she's just now getting around to it right now. Nevertheless, it's very meaningful. Shout out to Senyoka and Saquon Gordon. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I want y'all to understand it means something, man. And I want to know, how does it make you Black men feel? Literally, how does it, especially you guys who are in Generation X, this is what they were saying about us, that we were deadbeat dads. Many of us didn't even have dads. This was an explanation that these men are just pathologically, no good as far as fatherhood. And in reality, none of that was true. Because even though our fathers didn't live with us, clearly they had an impression upon us. I don't live with my children. But for the first 30 minutes of this broadcast, you could see my influence on my children. And there are millions of other Black men just like that. So how does that make you feel? She's come along now to debunk the myth that she helped spread, the deadly, dangerous myth. Is it too late? I think so. It's too late, like when a single mother finally admits to her 18-year-old son that everything she said about his father is a freaking lie. The damage is done. Hell, she's already made her millions. It's too late. The damage is done. And the damage is extensive and severe. Marriage has been destroyed. Why? Because Black women don't trust Black men. Children's lives have been destroyed, and their minds and their impressions of their parents have been destroyed. Why? Because they don't trust their fathers. And they don't trust their mother's choices in men. Families have been eviscerated. Men have been in prison. Why? Oftentimes because they don't get the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because people don't leave their prejudices at the courtroom door. They bring them into the jury pool. They bring them into the judge's box. They bring them into the prosecutor's office with them. And if all you've seen on television, your impression of Black men who you may not even know, is that they're deadbeat dads, well, hell, everything else flows from that. They must be horrible people if they don't take care of their kids. That has been the main stereotype. Some of the worst men in the world, their only saving grace were they were good fathers. They were good family men. Tyrants, but they're good family men, so we have to look at them in another way. Pablo Escobar was known for that. A horrible human being. A horrible human being. But because he was a good father and a good family man, and he gave back to the community, there are still people in Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia in general that still love him. The damage that this woman caused. How many men are on drugs and alcohol because they've been separated from their children? And it's just said, well, you know how those Black dudes are anyway. We family law judges, we don't need to give them the kid. They don't like their kids anyway. How many seeds of hatred for Black men, sons, fathers, and brothers have been passed down for the past generations, all based on this trope, this lie that black fathers are absent and they're deadbeat. Let me say this to Oprah Winfrey. I hope the money was worth it. I hope it was worth it, Oprah. But let me say this, and I think I can speak on behalf of all the black men who are here. Your apology, that's not going to cut it, ma'am. We'll be right. Welcome back to the broadcast. So we are talking about that the absent father myth, a big fat lie. And what's going on is Oprah Winfrey, who is one of the main purveyors of this lie, basically recanted it. Let's take a look again for those of you guys who are late coming in here. And I appreciate y'all being with me. Check this out.
Disease control, which debunked many of the myths around. March study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding black fathers. It found that the majority of black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
It's a lie. It was a lie. And it came out of her mouth. Now, she spent decades pushing the black man as being a monster, a deadbeat. Look at her movies like Color Purple. That BS. The entire world saw that. Okay? She was one of the first ones with this myth on her show in the 80s. And let me tell you something, and this is why I want y'all to hear me on something. Some of you guys don't understand why I was able to steer away from the Just Pearly trap. Okay, and we'll call that, somebody type Just Pearly trap in the chat room. I want you guys to understand something so you don't make this mistake, because this is something that I want all the other YouTubers to understand why I didn't fall into that trap. I recognized very early on that it was not this young woman's place to be talking about black people's issues. I saw Oprah Winfrey opened the door for a lot of other folks. You see, for white folks and others to talk about things that black folks are dealing with in their internal inner relationships. And when you open the door for people from outside the race to talk, all that's happened is you allow them to further those rumors, and they'll develop stereotypes about black men. You can't invite outsiders to come speak about your internal racial issues, because you open the door that leads to bad places. I knew that. Oprah did that. Oprah invited, and that's what you all did by putting your stamp of approval, by going on there day in and day out for the first 6 months after Kevin Samuels passed away. You all opened the door and allowed Just Pearly, the young white woman, to make comments about black issues. And you see where that door led. It led somewhere you didn't like. Now you got white supremacist racists talking bad about you because you gave her the stamp of approval to do it. You don't do that. You see? Now, Oprah Winfrey was the surrogate for that. Here in this situation, we have a lot of black YouTubers who were the surrogate for that. They played the role of Oprah. And it went from Oprah to all these other ones, Sally, Jesse, Raphael. Those people wouldn't have been talking about black folks like that hadn't Oprah not opened the door. It became fair game. Dr. Phil, it became fair game once it became a topic of discussion. Imagine that. Phil Donahue, Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake. It was open game once Oprah opened the door. And that's why you don't do that. Keep that in mind. But that's a learning lesson. We're going to move forward. Here's the thing. Now, Oprah Winfrey wants to sit here and act like she cares about the black male image. What do you guys think about that? Because I talk about that a lot. We need to protect our black male image. But see, the problem is the stereotypes and the brainwashing has already set in. Now, the one thing is, because of passport bros, in a few generations, there's going to be a reset button, because there's not going to be enough of us interacting with the lovely ladies in the community for them to even develop a stereotype. 51% of black men aren't married and don't have children. That's over half. 31% are married, so they're off the market. It's not going to be a whole lot of them left around, especially when they start bringing women from overseas and other places into this country and the culture begins to change. But see, here's the thing. Many of us, big shout out to my man, Big Man 7917, I can't forgive her for, oh yeah, that's another one. We're going to talk about, can't forgive her for shiting, we'll say shiting, on Michael Jackson. She even had the nerve to ask MJ if he would mind if a white man played him in a movie. MJ got angry. Yeah, man. What do y'all know? From what I know about Michael Jackson, man, he was definitely black empowerment oriented. So big shout out to him. And also big shout out to Hassan King. Dennis, my 8-year-old daughter lives with me, and I agree we are the most involved, but my needs aside, to make sure that she has everything she needs to succeed, I wouldn't have it anyway, any other way. That's what I'm talking about. See, they want to say if you're not married, then you're not an involved father. But the daddy could be living down the street. Remember, for a long time, black folks lived in the same community. They might not have been married to the women, but they were right down the street, literally. So the statistics were skewed to read a certain way, and it was all like, again, we all knew that Oprah Winfrey was a puppet. We knew she was a phony. She was a $3 bill. And we got many people like that right here on the internet. They're playing the game. Steve Harvey and some of these other folks you see, is glaringly apparent. But the thing is, how do you undo 40 years of damage that she helped cause? The woman helped destroy marriages, black relationships, and this is pre-Derrick Jackson, pre-everybody else, right? Filling these women's minds up with delusions and falsehoods. Shout out to MC Recovery Relapse for the super sticker. This is what she helped do. When we talk about racism and feminism destroying the black family, we must include the work of Oprah Winfrey. And I'm not sure what she done is fixable. And now we have her proteges like Cynthia G, Brittany Reiner, and the rest of Brittany Cooper and the rest of the black feminists continuing her legacy. Now, what you see Oprah doing right now with this clip and this position she's taking, she's literally turning the knife on herself by doing this. And what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? What do you know about female nature? What do you think is going to happen? When the queen of the I Hate Black Men turns a knife on herself and say, I was wrong, what do you think the rest of these lovely ladies are going to do? These same black women who used to praise and worship her are going to turn around and call her a pick-me. That's what's going to happen. Big Boss Real Talk said we should sue Oprah in a civil suit. We can't sue her, baby. All we can do is fight back the tropes. We can't sue her. There's no defamation. Even though she was spreading falsehoods, we didn't have black male-oriented media back then. See, now that we have black men, big shout out to my man, Big Boss Real Talk. if we had black male-oriented media right now, if you had your Dr. Tia Johnsons, if you had your Green Gorilla, the G with the PhD, if you had your Dr. Neals, if you had the kosher clinicians, if you had these people, then we could fight back. Who could you hop on YouTube and talk? We didn't have that then. In the 80s, we just had to stand there and take it. For the past 60 years, people like Oprah Winfrey have been driving the conversation and destroying the black male image, and there was nothing we can do about it. And now, for the past 5 or 6 years, we finally have black male-oriented media, and you see them bitching and complaining. You hear them, you hate black women. What about that 40 or 50 years when you were spreading lies about black men? That wasn't considered hate of black men? No. But nevertheless, now that the lovely Oprah Winfrey has put the knife against her own throat, they're going to refer to her as a pick-me. Think about that. They're going to turn on her. Mind you, it was just recently that Oprah, Gayle King, Candace Owens were attacking black fathers for being absent. So even though the video and the work has been out for 8 years, she just found out about it. Maybe Oprah found out how trifling these lovely ladies were and had a change of heart. I don't know. I don't think so. What I want you brothers to take note of, though, and I want you to hear me on this, as far as black American women, take note that they've always been willing to listen to anybody but black men. They listen to Oprah Winfrey, Gloria Steinem, Camille Paglia, and anything else, anyone else that would throw us under the bus. And now that Oprah admitted that this whole absent father myth was a lie, they're still not going to retract. But keep that in mind. Maybe she'll apologize by making a series of shows highlighting black fathers. We always knew. We always knew that our fathers were around. Our mothers told us that they wasn't around. And then we grew up and met our real fathers, and we got the other side of the story and was like, damn. Maybe Oprah can do a show highlighting the destruction that she helped cause. Oprah, actions speak louder than words. Somebody type, actions speak louder than words in the chat room. Maybe she'll do that, but I doubt it. And the truth is, even if you listen to what Oprah said on this video, she never actually admitted that she was complicit in any wrong, but it's implied. But still, it's too late. Oprah has had years of spreading negative propaganda against black men. As I mentioned earlier, Oprah Winfrey, Phil Donahue, Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake. It's almost as though they specialized in smearing the image of black men. And they did it for ratings. Admitting that they were wrong and that it was a lie, after the money is made, the damage is done. She's not going to have any consequences for telling the truth now, other than maybe she'll get some pick-me's thrown at her. But I hope that Oprah Winfrey can sleep at night knowing that she helped destroy the black community. And I also hope that they do to her legacy what she did to Michael Jackson's legacy. I hope they bring up her past like she did to so many others. I hope they spread falsehoods and misunderstandings about her impressions on life and her works like she did to so many others. Oprah understands the role she played. She doesn't care. Hell, even if she apologizes, why would black men accept that? Shit, she already got the bread. It's like a murderer apologizing for the damage that's done. When it comes to black men especially, Oprah's apology is useless and meaningless, just as meaningless and useless as that smile that she's always given. Nevertheless, I want you to pay attention. How do you men feel? How do you black men feel? Knowing that the masses of black women stubbornly followed Oprah's words as though she were their Lord and Savior, done so at black men's expense, at the expense of the black community, while refusing to hear the man that was in front of her every step of the way. Now that's a point worth pondering. Y'all hit the #1 button. We'll be right back.
You recording? Yeah.
Disease control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Mark's study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding black fathers. It found that the majority of black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie. Mark's study from the
It's a lie. The deadbeat black father myth is a lie. So says one of the people who were the main purveyors of that lie. The link is in the chat room. I want y'all to go ahead, all the fellas who want to come in. And I want you ladies to understand something. I will talk to you as long as you're respectful. You have something you want to add on this. I know Oprah Winfrey may be your hero. As long as you're respectful to the men in the chat, because this is a male-oriented page. It's a place where men can come speak freely. If you come in with the shaming language, you will be admonished for it. Nevertheless, you ladies are welcome to come in because this also concerns you. Big shot, because you a fool too. Let me see who else we got up in here. I want to give a shout out to Original Man. Says shout out to the Medium Man. Yeah, big shout out to Medium. That's the man with the numbers, man. He does great work. Michael Davis, Oprah, your apology is a day late and $1 short. Keep speaking the truth, Uncle D. You're cooking, baby. I'm barbecuing over here, man. Uncle D don't cook. You think I spend time in the kitchen? No, Uncle D is in the backyard with the grill barbecuing, baby. I got a whole slab of ribs out there, some steaks. I got potatoes on there. I got everything you need, baby. I can barbecue it with the best of them, baby. But anyway, Jamal Smith, Oprah Winfrey was the type of woman who would have told on the slaves trying to escape. Might have even owned a couple. Amen to that. Big Man 7917, Oprah attacked famous black men, but nobody talks about sexual abuse scandals at her all-girls school in Africa. There you go. There's something to think about. But anyway, let's get this thing cracking. Let's get back to it. So my question to you fellas is, and you know, Uncle D got a question. Here's the main question I want to, why is Oprah openly admitting this now? Why is she admitting now that she helped spread the lies about black men and absentees fathers? Shout out to my man MC Recovery Relapse. He said, more like a lie. What more like a lie? Why now though? What's her angle? You understand what I'm saying? Because Uncle D is still a street dude. Like, what's your angle? Where you coming from? What you doing? What are you seeking to gain? This is my question. What is your motivation? Anybody who's boxed, anybody, any of my fighters up here, anybody take, you never know who you dealing with. One of the most peaceful places in America is a gun range and a boxing gym. Why? Because you don't know, everybody in there is dangerous and you don't know their motivation. So you want to figure out a person's motivation. You don't know what they own. So my question is, what is her motivation at this point? And we can speculate. Again, the link is in the chat room. Anybody who wants to come in can join in. I'm going to post it to the top. Make sure I get this in here. The link is in the chat room. Let's talk. What is her motivation? Why now? Why 40 years later? Are you coming out with an apology, non-apology? Huh? What is she trying to sell? Because whatever she's trying to say, ain't nobody trying to buy it. Is she trying to get support from growing black male media? Is she seeing her audience shrink because many of the women who used to believe her lies from the 1980s are dead and she needs a new paying demographic? Hell, y'all ain't dumb enough to fall for that. That bridge is burned. It was nuked from space. It's really too late for Oprah Winfrey to talk about black men. She needs to keep her mouth shut. And hell, it's hard to reverse 6 decades of propaganda, Oprah. All these black men behind bars, separated from their children, ostracized from their wives. All the words of hate that's been directed towards black men stemming from your work. You can't clean that up. And I'm not just talking about your daytime show. I'm also talking about some of the movies you put out. What's your motivation, though? Maybe the Democratic Party put Oprah out there to acknowledge this truth because they're bleeding black male voters. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they need to recycle one of these old black folks that black folks used to listen to try to get you youngsters in line. When I say youngster, anybody under 55. Because Oprah damn near 70 now. Yo, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's some political agenda here. Unfortunately, it's too late. These black men realize they're free. They're free from the obligations of trying to rebuild a community for a bunch of women that say that they are strong, independent, and don't need a man. At this point, the brothers are more like, I'm independent, I'm into my own self-interest, and I'm unapologetic about it. And as far as politics, most black men will tell you, I'm gonna vote my interest. And I'm not aligned with either party or another. Hell, here's something else. And y'all maybe I'm off base with this, let me know. Maybe there's something wrong with her medically. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she sees the end on the horizon and she knows it. But she's trying to get little tidbits of her soul back. I don't know. But here's the thing, sweetheart. 30 years of niggas ain't shit every week, every day, and now you want to repent? This is so typical from the modern woman. They wait until the damage is done and they're old and wrinkled and pathologically single. And then they want to come out of their hole and say, oh, I was so wrong. That's what some of y'all mamas did. And then they thought, forgive me, I did the best I could. But hell, it don't matter at that point, does it? It don't matter. Oprah Winfrey is the grand wizard of black misandry, okay? She did nothing. And what she's trying to do now with this video, it's a flawed attempt at so-called deep black empowerment. That's what that is. Oprah, you made the deal. You took the money. You sacrificed the image of black men, your fathers, your brothers, your nephews. Even if we could forgive this woman, she can never come back. She's proved herself to be a traitor to our people. And she received her 30 pieces of gold. And now she needs to continue to be banished. And wherever her legacy is, it will be. The damage is done. She and the rest of the women who followed her and ostracized black men from the community, they can go on back to that black community. Let Zaddy help her. See, not only was part of that lie about black men, she dipped off into so many other things, letting you know what this woman is. This is a woman who told people's children, told adults that they shouldn't spank their children. And now you wonder why we got a bunch of wild, undisciplined children out there. And these same parents, listen to this woman. You took parenting advice from a childless spinster of a fool. And most of you all are afraid to discipline your children now because of the environment that she helped create. I never took anything she said as truth and actual. I always knew something was up with it. Unfortunately, Oprah Winfrey has a large following, and there's a lot of folks that were hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray by her words. And she's got to pay for that. Nevertheless, we got some fellas in the bullpen. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring them on in there because I want to hear what they have to say about this very, very serious subject. I think it's something to be said. Hit the number one button. We'll be right back.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skinned, huh?
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Big shout out to original man KK Oprah, he says, and then of course a super stick from AWS 21st. Look, fellas, welcome back to the broadcast. We got a couple of folks in here. Original man is in here too, Mr. Allen. Senyoka, brother, I think I got the first part. Senyoka, is that get it right? Is that right?
Sionke.
Sionke. Okay, Sionke. Well, anyway, fellas, let me see. Mr. Allen, you up first, man. So, and just in case you didn't see it, let's refresh the audience. This is what was said.
Study from this disease control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding March study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding black fathers. It found that the majority of black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie. March study.
All right. So let me put some actual numbers out there because I want y'all to understand what this is saying. So 51% of black men aren't married and don't have children. Let's take them off the board. Okay. 31% of black men are married and they live with their wives. Okay. That's it. So what she's referring to is that 18 to 20% of black men who are fathers outside of wedlock. And she's saying basically, even amongst that group of men, which would include me, we are the most involved fathers. I want you to think about that. Just think about that. Out of the so-called that top 20%, we're still the most involved. The ones that we're still the most involved. Think about that. So and when you compare that to the rest of the guys, we got them all beat. This needs to be a big deal in my opinion, because this, Mr. Allen, sits at the crux. This is the main pillar amongst the stereotypes that have undermined the credibility and the humanity of black men over the past 60 years, that we are not good fathers. Most of the other stuff we can work around, but that we're not good fathers, that's something that's very unique to black men. When you say deadbeat dad, you got an image of a black man with a whole bunch of kids that he's not taking care of. And for this woman who's been the major purveyor of that myth to now go on a public forum and say, no, I was wrong, it's just a myth. It's meaningful to me. Mr. Allen, please take it from here. What are your thoughts? And then we're going to go to Sinyoke.
I remember back in the day, we had a career day, and there was a young lady who was in my class. They asked her what she wanted to be. Her words were, "I want to be like Oprah." I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You jogged that memory. Fast forward, I'm 40. She's damn sure like Oprah's. Difference is she had a baby. She had a baby. Only difference. What I get from Oprah, I've always gotten weird vibes from her.
Yeah.
Prime example, if you own a horse, right? You have a quadruped, thoroughbred, and someone walks up to you to your trailer with your horse on it and says, "Oh, that's a nice horse. Well, you should feed it this. You should give it this. You should give it that." You ask them, "Do you have one too?" They're like, "Nah." But if you don't do what I say and treat it the way I say, I'm gonna call the SPCA on you. It's just weird.
Yeah,
it's weird,
brother. This trope is like that one that they always say black men are the most violent. If we can get rid of this one and that one, that's most of them. You see what I'm saying? We can have our humanity back. Brother, I keep asking you your name. Sayonke.
It's like saying "si on K." It is a closer word, which means that we are all one. Sionke.
Sionke. All right, brother Sionke, what would you like to add to this conversation? Shout out to Simple Shit TV. What are your thoughts? Because you're a man of a certain age, and you witnessed it firsthand. What are your thoughts?
Without doubt or contradiction, Attorney Dennis Spurling. First of all, let me say the fact that you brought out the health, the destruction of the health of black men, and that is very important as a warrior healer. First of all, let's say this: as black men, we must set the parameters of do's and don'ts. You mentioned the fact that we had to sit there and take it. And so now we have to look at that as a lesson learned.
Yeah.
And so therefore we cannot let that be repeated. And so young black men, I'm going on 62, young black men, I'm gonna do my part, but we do have to set up a wall. In health and Chinese medicine, it's called a wayfield. We have to set up that which protects us. And we have to look at things, though it may not be micro pathogens. Oprah is a pathogen. It penetrated our community.
Yeah.
It destroyed our community. And we can't let that happen again. The damage is done. A traitor is a traitor. We cannot forgive her. Now, if she wants to donate to good causes, but she cannot be forgiven. And we cannot condone it. No self-respecting people or nation allow traitors to live among them, in the sense of they just need to be ostracized.
Now, see, the thing is, the simps among us, and I addressed one the other day, the simps among us will always give the black women a pass and say, oh, they're only doing what they could do because we're a captive people. And that's like, so there's no accountability for the female traitors amongst us. Is that what how are we going to win this battle? All hands on deck. All hands means all hands. And so we cannot allow that Queen Mother Goddess simp chip that we all have implanted in the back of our head to cause for us to go lighter on her than we would anybody else who helped destroy the black community. Imagine if Oprah was a white male, right, who was spreading this lie. Y'all wouldn't hold back. Here's another thing I want to talk to you about, brother. We just got the microphone with these YouTube and Facebook live streams and whatnot. We just got that. Before this, you'd have to get a whole bunch of people in a stadium or a group, or you have to get some preacher to let you use his prayer room. And you know how we're going to need $500 for you. But see, now we got 500 people in here right now. You can't get, this is not something that we had in the 80s and 90s. I remember the book clubs when you would have somebody like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing come to your college or the local college, and you would sit in there in some little small room somewhere after you done managed to get through all the university security, because they looking at you sideways like you there to stealing white folks' bikes and Jettas and Volkswagens and whatnot. And then so you got to sit there and listen. You see them, but see now, and then it's only so much you can say. But now we have access to the airways. I wouldn't trade this to be on CNN because can't nobody tell me what to do. What monitors me is the people. Kevin Samuel showed us that. If nothing else, he showed us this is a one-way access to the people. You don't need. This is like when this is like getting rid of when Jesus came down and said you got access to the Lord. All you got to do is pray. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to go through all the hoops and whatnot. I can go straight to the people. We didn't have that before, so we didn't have a fighting chance. So it wasn't our fault. Now I was eight or 9 years old. You was probably about 20 or something back in the 80s. So you had to deal with this firsthand. You out there in the street, they look at you, deadbeat daddy, deadbeat daddy, deadbeat daddy. That's the stereotype that you wore. Ain't that something? Tell them how that made you feel. The most violent, the deadbeat dad. This is what they said about the brother. I want y'all to hear what the brother has to say. Go ahead. Tell us how that made you feel. Having that bag laid on you like that.
The thing is though I knew, and the majority of people in our community knew it was not true. Mm-hmm. We grew up, when we were growing up in grade school, we went to a school where we had Black teachers that cared about us, but we were transferred, bused to a white school. And the way they looked at us, it was all embedded because they listened to Oprah, and you can tell by their conversations. So though we were protected in our community by us being bussed out into the white community, at that time it was South Holland. I went to Thornwood High School. The racism, the riots, they looked at us though as we were animals. I can give some personal experiences, but I don't want to take away from the importance of this subject because it is extremely important. Yeah. But I also want to add this, and it's going off subject. I just want to give thanks and gratitude and honor to you because you have helped me outside on a personal level, and I want to thank you for that.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Thank you so much for that. I'll give all the glory to the Most High, and that's how I'm uplifted. But thank you so much. Let's go to my man, Original Man. Original Man, you saw what Oprah says. It's shocking to me. If she had said this 40 years ago, it would have meant something. Yeah. Now it's just us over here in these dark corners of the YouTube because the stereotype is already out there. The Black men are deadbeat dead. I don't care how many times the CDC says it. It's on us to put it out there, but nobody believes it. Even though we're the best fathers, they say we're the worst. That's how dangerous propaganda is. Yes, and that was Oprah Winfrey's business, propaganda. She got sued by the beef community for propaganda.
She also got sued by Michael Jackson's estate. Well, when he tried to put that bogus documentary out about it, which was far from the truth.
What are your thoughts, brother? What is her angle? What is she trying to achieve here? Because this is a calculating woman. I don't believe it's in earnest. What is she trying to achieve?
I can only speculate. I mean, like next year we're gonna have more elections. She could be trying to get Blacks together to vote Democrat again. Which has been a detriment to us for a number of years. You understand? Yeah. I mean, it seems like an agenda. It doesn't appear to me at all, because we know what she really feels and how she really feels about us through her propaganda, through mass mainstream media. Yeah. I thank God that we have platforms like this. That way we can counter all the propaganda and lies spread about us.
And the thing is, when our own we know how to deal with men who are traitors.
Yes.
But when we've been told that the Queen Mother Goddess can do no wrong, you see?
That's a lie.
And I know. And see, that's why, let me tell you, I put a video up about 3-4 months ago, and I'm still getting blowback from it because I pointed out, when you look at Dr. Francis Crest, when you look at Chancellor Williams' work, the daughter of the trade, you see that our ladies have opened the door and allowed the enemy in.
Exactly.
That's who's opened the door up and allowed the enemy in. We're going to run a quick commercial actually related to that. You can see how hostile this young woman is. And then we're going to come back. folks, the link is in the chat room. Come on in if you want to add. We got some time left. Let's talk.
Our women, brothers. These same women that you're willing to put your life on the line for. That's the white man's job. He created them. That's why I tell you brothers all the time, if you want a black woman, go get you a real one. Why do you think these women are so quick to side with the white man when it's time to call the police on your black behind?
Really?
Why do you think we have such a high abortion rate? They don't like your black ass.
Really?
Why is there a movement online right now saying abort black baby boys?
A whole movement.
Why are they wearing weave and bleaching their skin trying to look like that white woman? Despite that you tell them they look better with their African selves and their black selves. You damn near got the KKK sleeping in the bed with you. KK Keisha.
Wow.
They're the main ones talking about fighting white supremacy and the main one enabling white supremacy.
Wow, we are.
These same black women talk about the black man oppressing them and manipulating them and controlling them.
What was your mother, Attorney Spurling?
They act like the word submissive is a dirty word.
What was
but
your mother?
On the flip side, for them it's a flex when they go date the same man that looks like the men who oppressed them during slavery and oppression.
Tired of this. What was your mother, Attorney Spurling?
The level of delusion is incredible.
So your mother was delusional.
These are sellouts, brothers.
Huh?
And I thank God that the Most High in this age is exposing them for who they are.
You are trash.
But more importantly, brothers, there's no way you can produce a strong, confident, proud son, a proud African son, a proud black son with a woman like that.
Or a woman like your mother, right?
God has cursed her womb. So only be able to produce the very men that she hates.
You're cursed too, Attorney Spurling.
And that is a horrible place for a black male
it's so
child.
Horrible. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, you see that? I think I put that together. I think I'm probably one of the first people that have referred to these lovely ladies and called them on their actions. Oprah falls in that same vein. And now she's trying to come back and undo what she did as far as the damage by taking back the lie. Here's the thing, and the link is, the link is in the chat room, but the floor is open, gentlemen. How do you unring that bell, Mr. Allen, Mr. Sinyonke? How do you unring that bell, original man? The tree is already down.
Yeah.
And you have black women who grew up listening to that toxic black feminist rhetoric, who hate black men, who think that we are no good deadbeat daddies, who think we're the most violent, who think we're the scum of the earth. And these are the only children that they can produce. So they hate their own selves. They hate their wombs. You see what I'm saying? So how do we undo, the nerve, somebody typed this in the chat room, the nerve of Oprah Winfrey to now try to undo what she did, if that is what she tried, because she never actually apologized. But anyway, fellas, the link is open. What are your thoughts? I mean, the floor is open, guys.
And like I said before, she likes to dance on people's graves. I mean, she had that bogus documentary on Michael Jackson until his estate threatened to sue her. And then when Kobe had died, her right-hand woman Gail started talking about that alleged grape trial.
But isn't he a rapist though? I mean, it's his legacy. But yeah, that's
you don't even let the men rest in peace, and you're attacking them in their death. It's not good.
Yeah, and see, and I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and that was my whole thing with that young girl Just Pearly things. I don't involve white folk in my business like that. If they want to say something, like I've had them, the ones come in and comment on swirling, because in that particular case, I need to let the lovely ladies know that white man don't want you like that. You might not listen to me, but here's your white God telling you he don't want you like that. And that's me doing them a favor. I'm letting them hear from the horse's mouth. But you don't see me up in here asking white men about how they feel about how we should, better treat our women, and you see how we should raise our children. And you see what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of black folks who went on to that Just Pearly thing, and you open the door up. You open the door. She not one of your people. She not gonna come at you with love. I mean, we got our own people that halfway don't love us. And so you open up the door. Oprah Winfrey opened up the door and let all these white folk come in and judge Black America with no context. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And then on top of that, she made hundreds of millions of dollars on it. And look what it did to the community. Mr. Alvin Holden, the floor is open, brother. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on this thing, man? I mean, what's her motivation? I got so many questions. Why now?
I have a couple of questions too. First of all, salute to you, salute to the panel and the chat, everyone. First things first, why was she talking to nothing but men? I look like a panel of nothing but men, and not any women, first. And two, it kind of reminds me of like when a woman will call the cops on the boyfriend and then expect to still be with them afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like Black women they think that they can do stuff like this and it doesn't matter. Like it's not going to stick. Like we're not going to hold a grudge. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to forget that you just called the cops on me.
Here's the thing. And I want to share with y'all something, man. This is a little personal. Okay. So give me a point of personal preference here. And I know Mr. Allen has dealt with this too. I got children that I haven't seen in 3 years, a son that I haven't seen in 3 years. And it's no big deal because you black dudes don't care about your kids, no way. You see, you don't care about your kids. So why is the judge gonna move quick? You'll get it you get your justice when it's due. Black women even feel y'all don't care about your kids. And where that negative stare, after slavery ended in 1865, Black men walked hundreds and hundreds of miles to and fro looking for their family members who they've been separated from. They crisscrossed the South and the Mid-Atlantic looking for their children and their wives. We were from that point forward, we developed our own communities. We were the most married group of men and women up to 1955 until they ushered in this sexual revolution and the drugs and the free sex. How can you say that Black men don't care about their children? But you said it, Oprah. Your fat ass got on TV every day for years and you said it. And now you got the nerve to bring your ass on. Well, I was wrong. The bitch didn't even apologize. She didn't apologize.
No, she didn't. She's a narcissist.
The inference was just, I was wrong. Go ahead.
She was disingenuous.
Very disingenuous. Narcissist.
She did not say it is a lie. She said like a lie.
I'm getting feedback from somebody, but go ahead.
No, I was saying that she was disingenuous. She didn't say it was a lie. She said it was like a lie.
Ooh.
So you got to listen
Yes.
to what she said.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Let's go ahead and get these ears back to work because let's take a listen to that again.
It's like a lie.
Which debunked many of the myths around Mark's study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
More like a lie.
Okay. So I guess you can interpret that she didn't say it was a lie. So she didn't give unequivocal she didn't say it was a yeah, man. I get what you're saying. But anyway, look, the floor is open, guys. Big shout out to Deacon Okra said, "Batch, I'm back." I may be raw, definitely not kind. Deacon Okra still speak the divine. Praise God. And Big Man 7917, Kobe Bryant never raped anybody. His accuser was caught on tape lying about it. She lied to get paid. Kobe almost lost his marriage over it. Yeah, man. Deacon Oakers, 'twas the season for the hedonistic heathens, possessed by the demons. They sin. Don't give your semen these fiends. Avoid the blinding light of thy beacon. They gotta hear the truth from these deacons. Praise God. Boy, you need a beat to that. Man. I know some dudes. Simple Shit TV. Why was she speaking to a group of men? Yeah. But yeah, you kind of brought. I read that already. But yeah, man. I mean, you can't undo that shit, man. That's like a. I mean, how do you apologize for raping somebody or being a child molester or a pedophile or murdering? So how do you undo that? You helped it. See, she helped destroy a whole community with that propaganda. How do you undo that? Now you just, oh well, it was like a lie, bitch. It was like a lie. It was a fucking lie from hell, from the pit of hell, and you helped destroy the image of black men with that lie. Look, I'm getting blood pressure. Go ahead, y'all can take it. Go ahead.
You gotta understand, like, well, I know you. I take it back. Forgive me. I know you understand. You got women that are 20 years old, all the way to 80 plus, that listen to this bullshit that came from this woman.
Yeah.
My mama listens. My aunts listen. I'm 40. And then you stretch back, her hand extends all the way back to women that are damn near my daughter's age. She destroyed lives. But you know what happens? Oftentimes in life, when they get old and decrepit and sickly, that's when they start trying to become that deaconess in the pulpit. I don't think that's her deal. I think she's looking for a brand new source of people to feed on, like a vampire.
I ain't trying to hear shit she trying to say, man. You know, I don't have no love. I didn't like. I ain't trying to hear shit she trying to say. The link, fella, Deacon Oakland said, now hear her good. Now hear her good fat ass want to act like she the expert. She telling Lizzo lies. All right, man. Look, Yasha, you just got up in here. Welcome to the broadcast. And let me see. We got Gideon 9. I'm getting a little feedback from somebody. I don't know where that's coming from. Let me see.
I think Yasha might have a window open.
Yasha, you got a window open. You gotta close that window. Gideon, welcome to the broadcast. What would you like to add to this conversation? And then we'll get Yasha in too.
Hello, salute to the panel in the chat. Thank you, Uncle D, for hosting another great info session. And I was listening and I was trying to see if anyone could actually pin down that answer for you, because you were wondering, why would she be doing this at this point in time now? So just looking at the world and a few things going on, you know, we got inflation, conflict breaking out. And I think what's happening is the lovely ladies, as well as the powers that be, have realized that our community is trying to save itself. And we're doing that through our men. But what they're trying to do is do a little okey doke and get us to come back and try and help people that really it's a trap. You try and go back to help them. And I heard this saying the other day, and it was, sometimes the dog that bites you is the one that just needs a little bit of food for the strength to do so.
Damn. The dog that bites you is the one that needs a little. So we go back and help these rotten rascals. They might turn around and bite our ass again. You dummy. You take okay, I'll tell you what y'all do. You're a goddamn fool. If you try to, let me tell you something. Look, it's a lot of brothers you want to save the community. Go ahead. I support you on that. You're free men. I'm not. You understand? I'm going to be responsible for my house and my children in my house and my woman. And that's where the black family starts, right here, with black men and whatever women they decide to be with. You know what's not a black family? A bunch of bitches with some kids. That's not a black family. That's a bunch of bitches with some kids. You understand what I'm saying? It may be a communal group, but you can't have a family without you can't have a body without a head. And the head is the man. So you can't have a family without a father. You understand what I'm saying? That's just some broads with some kids. So wherever you all decide to lay your hat, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever you decide to lay your hat, that's your home. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saving that that the whole, why would we go save a community and then basically be muscled out of control of that community that we just saved and give it back to the people who ran it into the ground? A group of women who openly don't want us to have any of the political resources or power that they get. They get angry when we say, well, we just doing this for black men. They angry at y'all. They angry at you black men for congregating on the internet. All these well-spoken, intelligent, hardworking men, there's something that's got to be pathological about this. No, bitch, we're the men. Like I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I think y'all was here. We outnumber them now. The 63% of black men who reach the middle class whose values have changed from that ghetto, the ghetto trash oriented sort of, even the hood dudes don't want to be hood no more. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody wants nice value. They don't want their kid. Any man with good sense don't want the kids growing up like they did. They don't want those. They realize those values were trash. But back to the point at hand, fellas. Why is this woman coming at us like this? Gideon gave a good answer. I need some more answers. Why is she spinning this? Why is she sending this olive branch our way? Yes, are you up first? What would you think?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone.
You got to speak up, brother.
Can y'all hear me, man? I'm sorry. Hopefully.
A little low.
So, women are interesting creatures. You know, you date a girl already dated somebody else, and she mad at that other dude. Well, then she come tell you and try to put on what that other dude did and you. This is Oprah. Oprah had a problem with her childhood, and when that young man did that bitch to her, then she took and said, "Well, all black men are bad." So now she to be paid to talk bad because of what he did to you, man. And let's get on this rally over for her now. And she apologize some type of way without pissing off her master, so she won't just come out and say, yes, we were promoted lies to destroy you. We didn't want you to know that we paid you to men out of the house. We don't want you to know that so that would help us. We don't want to say that out loud, so we'll give you a half of an apology on my way out to maybe make up for all the problems that I've caused. And so
you know what?
Just one of those pains.
You know what's crazy, Asher? You made a real good point, but I want you to hear something. Oprah's relatives came out and said all that shit was a lie. Her daddy was involved in her life. He was a good man. She just made all that shit up for TV. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what her relatives said. I heard that on the broadcast some time back. So my thing is, that makes it even worse. I had a lady on this broadcast, her brother brought, some of y'all might remember from a few months back. We getting some feedback from somebody. Let me see. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, that was Brother Sinyonke. I had a lady on the broadcast. She was from the Los Angeles area. Her brother said she listens to Cynthia G and all these, crazy folk on the internet to say these horrible things about black men. Mind you, this woman is married and a housewife with 4 kids. Y'all remember that broadcast? And I said, what on earth why are you even involved in this conversation? You're everything that they say they don't have, and that's why they mad. They can't find a good man. You got one that got you sitting down at home and you still bitching and complaining. And so Oprah Winfrey might have just been that type of woman. She needed that backstory so that she can say, I'm a victim too. Let the victim speak. You see what I mean? It might all be contrived. Yeah, look, you got this dude right now. What's the boy playing? He got the white woman got him in trouble in New York. What's the he little buff
Jonathan Majors.
Now he's dating the black girl. You know what I'm saying?
Is he dating the black girl now?
It's a setup. You can't y'all can smell that. You think they really just got interested in each other, or did they agents get together and say, look, we need him to date her for about a year and a half? Just like, because remember when what's my man It's the same play.
Killmonger.
What's his name? Michael B. Jordan. It's
Michael
the
B.
same
Jordan.
play he did. The lovely lady seen him on a boat in Italy with a bunch of fine white women, and so he started dating this black girl. What's his name's daughter for a year.
Lori Harvey.
And they, of course, they proposed, and she don't want it because it was time to break up. They can go back to the white women. It's all a setup. It's all Hollywood. But look what they did to us, though. Like, they playing games, but we got to live in the skin.
We catch cases.
You see what I'm saying? Like, here's what I want you to understand. The average American does not recognize that Oprah might have just been making this up. They see a black woman. Oh my God, we love Oprah. Who did her like this? Oh, that mean, nasty black man, her father, her brothers. Those black men must be, on top of that, they're horrible dads. This is what we dealt with in the 80s and 90s. No wonder, man, look, it's no wonder we ain't all jump off a bridge somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't want that to happen to y'all. That's why I teach you guys how to fight every day.
She made the
I don't take you can't even say shit to me in the comment section about me going upside and talking about your mom. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna learn today. You brothers have to be extra vigilant about your reputation. Don't let nobody say a damn thing about you without getting smoked. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give it to them. Each and every time anybody says something bad about black men in general, you give them smoke.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they're going to learn. They're going to shut up talking about you, brothers. And look, can't nobody cap like a black man. I mean, we got the best comedians in the world between Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. We can cap with the best of them. Y'all just shut them down. Don't let them say it. Stop trying to be cool with these people. They're not cool with you. They're playing for keeps. They want to put you in jail. It don't matter what color they are. It don't matter their sex. You see what I'm saying? They sent Oprah Winfrey's fat mammy ass out there for 40 years and convinced all them white women that she was a poor victim and the black man was the fault. And then guess what? The legislation changed. You see what I mean? And our incarceration rate went up. Remember the incarceration rate went up when Oprah was talking? You don't think that helped? It all played a part in itself. You got to defend yourselves. Brothers, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back. Y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button. And make sure, hey, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I need y'all to do that. We'll be right back.
There's a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way. If your soul not anchored in Jesus, you will surely drift away, down the way, drift away, you will surely drift away. If your soul not anchored in Jesus, you will surely drift away. Lord, I'm trying to make it hungry. 99 and a half. Lord, I'm trying to make it hungry. 99 and a half. Oh, it won't do. Oh, it won't do. Hey, 99 and a half. Said it won't do. It won't do. 'Cause 99 and a half won't do. There's a storm.
All right. Welcome back to the broadcast. Here's the thing. There's a lesson to be learned from this. Now, y'all might not know where I'm coming from, but here's the lesson. I want y'all to hear this. And if you brothers will, just give me a few minutes and we're going to hear this. And Alvin, if you want to continue this conversation on your page, just give me the link and I'll post it up. The lesson here is that the men who call themselves leaders back in the 80s, they should have checked Oprah's ass. Minister Farrakhan, who knew better. Jesse Jackson, who knew better. Okay, who else? Reverend Al Sharpton, who knew better. I think the problem, though, is that we don't need any more religious leaders to lead us. You see, we need scientists and lawyers and people who actually in that profession, people who've been trained to do that, not some so-called spiritual leader who's biased one way or the other. He's looking for donations. And I love Farrakhan. Of course, you guys know I speak about him highly in my books. I speak about Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King. I appreciate all those religious leaders. But now is not the time for religious leaders to be out front, because they're compromised in that they want to try to bring souls to the Most High. And so they maybe don't want to offend somebody, especially black folks. They're big-hearted people. See, now we need assholes. Somebody type that in the chat room. We need assholes in the black community. This is what we need. We need the assholes who's going to speak up and tell the truth to all these liars out here. No, we don't want men in dresses reading fucking fairy tales to our first graders. Okay? We don't want that shit. No, you're not a fucking him, her. You're a fucking woman. And on top of that, you got a kid to prove it. You see, we need assholes. We need bad guys. Embrace being the bad guy. Who was the first one to tell you that? When these women call you evil, that means you're on the right path. You understand? Embrace being the bad guy and enjoy it. You know who does a good job at embracing being the bad guy? That boy Andrew Tate. That motherfucker is the black pill. He got rich having bitches sell pussy on the internet. Got a whole bunch of cars. Says all kind of shit that nobody wants him to say, but he says it anyway. Embrace being the bad guy and have fun with it. Yep. See, Oprah Winfrey would not last in 2023 with YouTube, because every day we will be breaking down her video. It's hard for dating coaches to get traction these days, men and women, because we sitting here comparing those like, dog, that ain't true. That's not fucking true. Us and our collective minds, we know more than you. This is why the Democratic Party is losing traction with black men, because see, we're here. It's a dude on Facebook trying to come over to YouTube. He don't know. This ain't that. You got a bunch of 1970 babies over there. These is 1990 plus babies. They're not going for it. Uncle D is asking you to be assholes in your truth speaking. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you to tell everybody the truth. Don't hold back. Give it to them. Give it to them and don't hold back. Now it's time to pull out that right hand of God, which is a symbol of truth. That sword is a symbol of truth, to come down and separate the wheat from the chaff. All you see me doing is showing you it's okay to do whatever position you in. Some of y'all got a whole lot more to lose. Don't you think my baby mama is looking at this shit? Don't you think my ex-wife is looking at these teaching our children to be misogynist and sexist? Give a fuck. I'm a good daddy though. I pay my child support, bitch. Leave me alone. You said, I'm not bitch. Let me see. My bad. I should say that about those lovely ladies.
Lovely lady.
But my whole point is, you speak the truth and don't hold your tongue, fellas. Because see, if those leaders back in the day, and I love them, have great, if they had spoke the truth, and they would have called her for what she is, a traitor and a sellout, and that would have been the end of it. Because they could have collectively come together and made her lose her power, but they didn't do it. And so now, fellas, the burden falls on us. And I don't want y'all to leave this burden to my children, okay? Big shout out to Salty Balls, Jack Johnson, thine father of assholes. Praise God. Big Man 7917. Why I love these lovely ladies. I'm a fantasy league king. Also, these big bitches blocked in literally 8 blitzing corners. My goodness. And Deacon Salty Balls, scroll of absolutes, believeth all she heathens. If thine demons would like about our brethren now, who said they did not lie about the tales of the victims past? Ain't that the truth? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all go ahead and continue this over at Alvin's page. Alvin, I'd like to hear more. I think we should talk about this more, because this means something. Oprah is a symbol. She is a big ass motherfucking oil tanker in the middle of the water. In the direction she heads, a lot of other people head. Use that clip that I got. Everybody who wants to can use that clip and go hit people upside the head with it. Y'all's queen said it. Y'all's queen said it was a myth. You see what I'm saying? So now what else you gonna hit us with? We can look at FBI statistics and see who's the most arrested. It's not black men. So let's keep debunking these lies. I told you brothers last night, we're gonna win this war.
Yeah.
We're gonna win this war. This war that we're in right now, this war of words, we're gonna win it. Because number one, we got truth on our side, and the internet is everywhere. This is the brain of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's listening. You keep that in mind. So we are causing for people to have to change their thoughts because we're penetrating directly into their brain. Keep hitting them with them. Don't fall back. Push forward. I don't give it. At a certain point, cancel culture is going to have to end because there's nothing they're going to fire everybody. Hell no. You can't go. How many plumbers you think you fire before your toilet stop flushing? You see what I'm saying? How many truck drivers you gonna cancel before your food, them apples and oranges and them yoga lattes that you like to eat stop showing up at the grocery store?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They can't cancel us all. Keep speaking the truth, brother. Now is the time to redouble your efforts and push forward. Don't ease up.
Yeah.
Don't ease up. If you got Oprah on the ropes like that and her big, wide, fat ass is now having to admit that she was wrong, everybody else is lightweight. Keep that in mind. You understand? Anyway, man, God bless you, brothers. I love y'all. Big shout out to Alvin, Mr. Allen, who was here earlier. Original man, brothers. Sinyonke. It's smooth, right? Sinyonke. I'm gonna get that together, bro. Gideon 94, Yasher, everybody who came through, fellas. I know we ran a little bit over. And big shout out to the Crimson Son who was here earlier. And my oldest son, who he calls the other son. They interesting little dude. It's a little distressing seeing them go at it like that, but you know, it's that's them being themselves. Big shout out to those fellas. But other than that, God bless y'all. I appreciate them. Shout out to all the black fathers, man. Shout out to all the fathers, but specifically the black fathers. I'm glad to see you being redeemed in the eyes of the world. You need this. You need this, brothers. Be proud of yourselves and know that you come from a legacy of great men who always took care of their kids. Don't believe that bullshit. Either way, man, I love you all. And I mean that, man, like you, my own brothers and my own children, my own sons and little brothers. I love you, brothers. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. God bless you. It's Uncle D. I'm out.